Hey Ari. Hey Zorpups. Guess what? It's time for a garden update. So yeah, here's my quick little garden update as to what we got going on. It's April 7th. I still have a ton of stuff to plant, so I'm running a little behind where I am sometimes. But I have tons of seedlings that I've been thinning out and spreading into their own pots. I have like thyme, I have basil, kale, marigolds, lots and lots more basil, tons of catnip, lots of peppers, more lettuce, which is basically almost time to harvest for most of it, but it's there, so I'll see what I can do. Another section of plants over here. A whole bunch of marjoram in here. Most of those are marjorams for my big plant. More catnip, a few lettuce plants that have sprouted compared to the other ones. Bunch more little seedlings that have been separated because these started off really tiny, so now I have some one of my herbs. Well, anyways, yeah, I'll keep moving. So there's some spinach. I have some asparagus in here, more basil, plenty and plenty of tomatoes, which I still have to thin out because these guys are too clustered together. More basil, lots more peppers, some dill, and yeah, lots of stuff going on. So anyways, now I have my mushroom blocks over here. There's a few that are going. It's kind of warm. They don't like the heat. Let me see what this guy looks like. That one's probably doing pretty good right here. So I'll pull this guy out just kind of as a overview. This one is a pretty good size mushroom. This looks ready to go, so maybe I'll make that for dinner. We'll play it by ear. I need to use some of them, but there's a few that have been producing. I wasn't able to utilize them all. Some of them that were in the bag got kind of moldy, so I just had to chunk a lot of those. I have shredded up most of the bags of leaves I had, other than the ones that are kind of the perimeter holding it together. Everything else in this pile has shredded leaves with mushroom compost blocks and coffee that's all fresh. This is last year's pile, which I'm using now for mulch, so I'm shredding it up with my little leaf shredder, which I don't have out right now because it's a low priority item. But yeah, once I'm done planting, then I'm going to shred this up and cover the rest of the garden with mulch. So over here, I don't have too many strawberries in process. I have a bunch of Fort Laramie, which I had some really nice strawberries the other day. My hops are almost to the top of the fence line on that one guy. So the hops are doing really well. I need to clean up the fence line a little bit on the other side, but I'm not sure if I'll get the chance to do that anytime soon. Some sunflowers are getting big in here, but I'm not sure if I really want those guys in here. They'll suck up too much moisture from my other plants. My coriander plant is gigantic now. So these were cilantro, and now they're massive. And they're doing really well, and there's lots of bees, so I will get a ton of coriander at the end of this. Once these guys are done, then I'll rip these out here in about a month or so. Probably maybe a little less, but it's just going to go to seed, and then I'll dry them out and have tons upon tons of coriander and seeds for next year. So I'll try to make sure I do a really good job of harvesting them. Over here, I have started planting some stuff, but I have a lot of, I'm like not even halfway through planting, maybe only 30% planting, and I really wish I was a little further ahead. Peppers are going. Tomatoes, I have 5 rows in the ground. I have 2 rows of peppers. Need to get some more peppers going. I've been scattering some random marigolds and basil around the plants, but yeah, I'm gonna get a few more rows of tomatoes, and this will have about, I think, 8 rows if I cram them in, 57 rows each, so about 56 tomatoes over here. Peppers, I'll probably do half peppers and then some other stuff over here. My broccoli is almost done over here, so I still have some more that I can harvest. So these guys are ready to rock and roll on the harvest over here. But these ones are basically seeding, but bees have been loving them, and I had so many that I was like, all right, whatever, I'll just let the bees have them. But now I'm gonna have tons upon tons of seeds. Some more broccoli right over here, more broccoli. So I still have plenty to harvest, so it's kind of like almost staged where those ones harvested early and these ones are harvesting now. Haven't planted almost anything over here yet. There's still plenty of, there's some random carrots. There's lots and lots of coriander flowering. My rows of potatoes now are starting to sprout up. So I have my potatoes over here. This is where I mentioned I was shredding up all the compost stuff, like all the leaves. Basically, I shred it up and then just cover this with the compost and mushroom blocks and coffee mixture. and it'll basically be dirt by the end of the season. But I'll just keep adding more to that, and that's one of the things about adding to the garden. I just keep adding more and more layers of stuff. Sam's checking out over here, my Maine Coon, who's 14.5 pounds of big boy kitty cat, who sounds like a squeaky boy. What is it, Sam? These are my asparagus and catnip garden, so my cats love this place. There's some onions, there's some marjoram, more onions, some lettuce right over here, some more strawberries, lots and lots of sunflowers sprouting up. There's some dill, there's some oregano, rosemary. A few things are going. I mean, like, yeah, I say I'm like not doing too much, but for most people, like, it's like that's so much stuff going on. But oh well, that's me. I'm not done planting because I have this section to do, along with a lot of extra space over here. So something is eating holes in my strawberries. Not sure what off the bat right now, but not too big of a deal. I'll worry about that later. But I'm gonna try to plant some dill over here, I think. This is gonna be mainly herbs and stuff as much as I can. So I have a few more things to plant over here. And then I have all these guys, which are my next ready plants for staging. So everything from peppers and eggplant and parsley, which is what I was trying to think of earlier that I could like lost my mind for a minute. And then a bunch of other peppers and some marigolds and other stuff. So right now is just a quick garden update of lots of stuff I need to plant. I have this thing of these natural garlic that grows anywhere and everywhere. You basically throw it in the ground, it'll grow anywhere in Texas, most likely, other than, well, we'll see. But yeah, I just don't even keep it in my garden because it spreads like the wildfire. And oh yeah, I do have potatoes going too. So there's potatoes over there. I have my onions and garlic. I have more onions I need to still transplant because they're planted too close together right here. So I'm trying to figure out where I can put all those. These guys have sprouted over here on potatoes. This is, I think, some more marjoram. A couple more potatoes in there. Onions and garlics and chive stuff, which is just now flowering. So I'll just have a bunch of seeds. Those guys will come back. And over here, I've been throwing potatoes in these buckets over here. So I need to finish up these potatoes and then drag some of these buckets of dirt over to the main part of the garden and then start planting more stuff. So anyways, that's my quick little garden update. Sometimes I go off a lot longer, but I have a lot more to plant and I'm running a little behind from where I'd like to be, but that is the current scenario of my garden.